typically, traditionally, I see most traditional sex addicts having more of the fearful, anxious, avoidant attachment style, and more sex and love addicts having more preoccupied. I wonder if both are a way of avoiding actually how you show up. I mean, you think the avoidant, but I could see how a sex and love addict is so, let's say, avoiding the pain of abandonment or loss or trauma from the past that they're throwing themselves into relationships or, multiple other
Mhm.
people, that there's a sense of, I guess what you're saying earlier, Tim, like this avoidance of pain kind of at the core of all of it. Would you guys agree or how do you see it?
Well, when you say sex and love addicts, uh, so it seems contrary, but I hear what you're saying, Dan. It's this piece of like love bombing.
Yeah.
So sex and or love addicts love, they're always thinking of different ways to show the person they like them or love them or care about them, and so that sort of frenetic energy goes into the dynamic. And so and so it definitely is that sort of adrenaline rush and that hyper focusing where if something is uncomfortable happening in their lives, it's a great way to avoid that.
Which may be a distraction too, kind of to your point too,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, distracting and avoiding, yeah, both.
I see, and then this isn't talked about as much, but I definitely see this showing up with intimacy anorexia, like a profound avoidance of intimacy on all levels. So physically, sexually, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Where the betrayed partner in those situations is starved for just even breadcrumbs of getting anything from the significant other. I think that's such a kind of protective avoidance that I see from some of those that have intimacy anorexia.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
we often talk about sex addiction as being an intimacy disorder. And again, with that avoidance theme, it's I'm avoiding stepping into relationship in a real meaningful way because that way I don't have to risk the vulnerability that comes with true intimacy. And so I'm avoiding that potential pain, that potential rejection, that potential wounding that's going to hit me to my core because I haven't done my healing work to have boundaries and, self-care in place really yet. And so there's this, it often boils down to this, in my opinion, this avoidance of pain, this avoidance of emotional discomfort, whether it's I'm love bombing somebody to make sure that they're going to like me so I'm not going to be rejected, or whether I'm not really fully present in my relationship because if I get too close, it's too painful, or she's in her betrayal trauma and angry with me, and so I want distance so I don't get hit with that, or I'm avoiding the family gatherings because they're uncomfortable and I'm not comfortable in my own skin and what it's like to be in a family event when I'm in recovery, and so it's just more comfortable to avoid that and not go there. I mean, all of these things that addicts are sort of like in avoidance around from a certain perspective are actually a dysfunctional form of trying to take care of themselves and protect themselves.
Right.
Yeah,
In
that's
effect, I mean,
That's what I was hearing, Tim, is that this is a way, and I get very curious, right, of going back to the family of origin and the family they grew up in, and basically saying, okay, where did you learn this? Because you learned it somewhere, somehow. And so if there's a threat in the environment, and if there's a threat in the family, whatever that might be, just to, withdraw and be quiet and go away and play with your toys or play with your friends, that that's a great coping mechanism to avoid conflict, threat, criticism, abuse, even neglect. It's like, well, if I just float away beforehand, then potentially I won't get hurt. And then I can see that then in adult relationship, if there's any kind of threat, the partner can say anything from "I don't like the way you loaded the dishwasher"
Right.
to what is to just float away again. Just okay, I'm not even gonna engage with this.